Hey guys, this is Dr. Joe Borio, this week's Health Kick. This week I wanted to talk about diet, and it's definitely a word that evokes a lot of challenges, right? For a lot of people, also a lot of misinformation, and there you see all these fad diets out there and different ways for people to lose weight. And they'll definitely many times cause you to lose weight, but that's really not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is make the body function and work the way it's supposed to. So we need to understand a little bit about what's happening with that, and we want to understand a little bit of a better way to eat. So let's talk about diet for a minute. Diet means you're creating a deficiency in your body. You're restricting what your body essentially needs in order to function day to day, so it starts feeding off of itself. Now, when I say that, what we're really talking about is fat, right? A lot of people want to lose fat, they want to get in better shape, but remember, fat is stored energy. So fat, think of fat anywhere you have it. You know, men tend to grab it around their waist, up in their back. Women tend to get it from the waist down into their legs. But really, all that is a gas tank. And that is stored energy, is what fat is. So in order to lose weight, we have to do more and certainly eat less, if you will, or eat less calories, possibly, if that's your situation. If you're bringing in 1,500 calories to 2,000 calories a day, and they're healthy calories, you may be exactly where you want to be caloric-wise. Then it comes down to food management. What types of calories are you putting in your body at what time of the day? And what are you doing? Are you very sedentary, or are you somebody that moves around a lot? So that has a lot to do with it as well. We got to remember that we eat for two reasons and two reasons only, essentially. Now, a lot of people eat because food tastes good. A lot of people eat because it's emotional. I mean, I grew up in an Italian family. I don't care what it was a reason to eat, right? So if you had a good day, there was a reason to celebrate. If you had a bad day, there was a reason to try to make you feel better. My God, if somebody passes away and there's a funeral, holy mackerel. I mean, put on the spread. If there's a wedding, anniversary, you name it, birthday, there's always a reason to eat in those Italian families. And a lot of the foods that were out there really weren't so healthy, so you tended to look at your relatives as the years went on, they got bigger and bigger, right? And we've seen that, right? You go to high school reunion, everybody kind of swells. So how do we make those changes? So let's understand this, that you need to have a core of food intake. And we have to understand what types of foods we have. So we're eating for energy or we're eating for repair. Those are the only two reasons we're eating. Energy is going to be the fuel that I need. Repair are going to be the products in my food that allow my body to repair itself. Okay, my body repairs at night, not during the day. It essentially repairs itself at night. So remember that as well. So when I'm bringing in calories, what do I need in the morning? I need energy in the morning. I need energy. I need energy to get going, get rocking, and I want a nice slow burn energy throughout the day, so I don't want to get a real big peak and then crash. And that's what simple carbohydrates do. Refer to last week's on diabetes. We talked a lot about that. But essentially, simple carbohydrates are not healthy for you. So anything refined, white bread, white sugar, cakes, cookies, candies, sodas, anything like that, those are things you really have to stay away from. Any sugary juice in the morning really isn't good for you. Much better off eating a whole orange than you are about orange juice, or a whole apple rather than apple cider. So remember that as well. So in the morning we want to have energy, and we want to have carbohydrates, and we want complex carbohydrates. So a bowl of oatmeal, whole grains, brown rice, things of that nature, in combination maybe with some fruit, would be phenomenal for you in the morning. It's light, it absorbs quickly, it doesn't take an enormous amount of energy from your body to digest it, and as a result, it gives you that energy. You want to have 5 meals a day, each meal approximately about the size of a hand, not your hands, okay? A hand. So each meal in total should be about the size of your hand, not piled up this high, okay? So just think about that. Essentially, is that what you're doing? And that has a lot to do with us coming from hunter-gatherer type population, where we put foods in our hand and then eat, and you want that 5 meal a day option. So in the morning, you want energy type foods, healthy energy, complex carbohydrates. Lunchtime comes, that second to third meal of the day. Now we want to have some energy as well, but we can maybe eke in a little bit of our proteins, okay? So remember, proteins are for repair, and fats are really good for us. Fats have gotten a really bad name, where your body makes an enormous amount of hormones and neurotransmitters, and it actually helps in the assistance of repair. So fats are essential. It's the bad fats you want out, right? The trans fats, hydrogenated fats. Those are the things we don't want to have. Saturated fats, those aren't things that are good for us, but polyunsaturated or monounsaturated fats are much better for us, right? So those are the foods that we want to maybe introduce a little bit in the afternoon meals, along with a little bit of protein and definitely some carbohydrates. As the day comes on, now we get to meal number 4, number 5, you don't need energy anymore. Your body's starting to shut down. You're getting close to the end of the day. You're going to go to bed pretty quick. So what do we want in those cases? Real simple. We want protein and we want vegetables. Protein and vegetables. Protein is going to give us repair products. Usually has some really healthy fats in most of the protein sources that we eat anyway. And then what do we want as well is we want some vegetables. So we want our green, we want our leafies. So green leafies usually start to get introduced around lunchtime. So meal number 3, 4, and 5, we're going to definitely have some green leafies. Meals 1, 2, and 3, we're definitely going to have some fruits. And then, like I said, at lunchtime, you start bringing in those vegetables. And again, everything should be about the size of your hand. So we want carbohydrates, healthy carbohydrates. Okay, so complex carbs, again, we talked about that last week. We also want healthy fats. Olive oil, for example, very healthy fat. Fish oil, omega-3. Flaxseed oil, very healthy. So you want to lean more towards those healthy fats. What else do we want? We want healthy sources of protein. So lean sources of protein are going to make us very healthy and certainly give us really important products for our body to repair itself. So really essential to kind of focus in on that meal protocol. I had a couple of patients of mine that had gained some weight, triglyceride levels were high, cholesterol levels were high, and they said, geez, doc, I'd like to lose some weight. I talked to them about their diet. One of them had key lime pie every day, every night when he went to bed, or cookies. The other one had ice cream every night. And I said, listen, he said, Brian said to me, I'm not giving up my ice cream. I said, don't give up your ice cream. I'll tell you what, have it for lunch, not for dinner. And same thing with the key lime pie with Jim, have it for lunch, not for dinner. They both did that. They both lost 10 to 12 pounds or more, and their triglyceride levels, both of them had dropped, and the cholesterol levels had dropped. So they weren't even eating less calories. What they were doing is they were putting it in their body when they needed it. You start putting in mashed potatoes, even healthy rice, whole grains, even really healthy bread. You start putting all that in your belly at night on meal 4 and 5, your body doesn't need that stuff. It's like, hey, I'm shutting down, I'm going to bed. Guess what happens? It starts converting that into fat, starts converting it into triglycerides. Your triglycerides starts to rise, you start putting more fat on your body, inflammation starts to rise, all kinds of bad stuff starts to happen, okay? So real important to understand our food management as well. So remember, we're eating foods for 2 reasons. We're eating them for fuel and repair. Anytime I do a diet, so-called diet, and I restrict calories, what I actually do in those cases is I start to eat away at my motor, which is my muscle in my body. So what happens to a lot of people, you heard this roller coaster type weight gains and losses, right? So I restrict my calories, I lose weight, which is not what you want to do. You want to lose fat, not weight. Totally different. And what happens is I start sacrificing a lot of my lean muscle. And what that happens, if I have an 8-cylinder car and a 4-cylinder car, and we both drive to Buffalo from Syracuse, right? We're both going to get at the end destination, but the 8-cylinder is going to use more fuel than the 4-cylinder. Why? Because it's got a bigger motor, it's got more muscle, it's going to expend more energy. And in a sense, it's less efficient almost. And that's really what we want with our body. So you see these people with high metabolisms, they're burning more calories doing the same thing that you and I are doing. Once I restrict the calories in my body, guess what happens? My body starts shutting down my motor. I go from an 8-cylinder or 4-cylinder. Then when I get to my goal, hey, I lost 20 pounds, whatever, I start going back to the way I used to eat. My weight comes back on even more rapidly because guess what's happened to my motor? It's now even smaller. My body became more efficient throughout the day, but unfortunately now I'm even more prone to putting on the weight. So very, very bad idea. So exercise is a key component to weight loss. But I don't even want to call it weight loss. I want to call it daily living. We have to think about it as a lifestyle. Now, we get into the cheat days, right? And I'm not talking about spousal cheating. I'm talking about food cheating, okay? So when I say that, 1 day a week, have a little something that you like to eat maybe on Friday night or Saturday night, maybe like creme brulee, maybe like to have a bowl of ice cream, maybe like cookies, whatever. That's not going to kill you. 1 night a week, have a little fun, maybe some chicken wings, maybe some beer, whatever. That's fine, but you start putting that in every single night, very bad things for your body. You start putting that in once a week, once every couple of weeks, body's going to handle it extremely well. It won't make 1 point on your caloric intake as far as putting any weight on. Your body's going to feel a lot better. Level of diabetes going to drop. Problems with cataracts, circulatory problems, kidney problems, liver problems are going to drop. Structural problems with the feet and the knees and the hips going to drop. We're out of time, guys. Listen, this has been Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Health Kick. Remember to eat well, exercise, drink water, sleep well. Positive mental thoughts in here. Make sure you're doing some good self-talk. Make sure you and your entire family is under regular chiropractic care. Have a great week.